Perfectionism can really kill your progress. I know because I'm a perfectionist and it used to kill mine. But in this video, I want to share actionable work I know you can do to really ramp up your progress when you're a perfectionist and to gain time without having to give up on your devotion to excellence. So let's go. Now, if you're a perfectionist, it means that you care about quality, and that's a good thing because I don't want to turn out rubbish work, and neither do you. But devotion to excellence can easily disintegrate into what people call perfectionist paralysis or perfectionism paralysis. And that's when you just can't get things done, or you can't get them done fast enough. And here are the problems that can cause. It can cause you to miss deadlines. It can cause you to get beaten to market. And it can cause you to suffer the law of diminishing returns, where you spend exponentially more time trying to get things perfect than you would have had to have done if you were just trying to get them to good enough. And that means less time for you, it means less time to spend with your friends, with your family, and less time to spend doing the joyful living activities that we really look forward to. If the car industry suffered with perfectionist paralysis, we'd still be driving horses and carts. And actually, I think that might even be a quote. Is it? Let me know in the comments if it is. What we need more than perfection is progress. In fact, progress is what can actually lead to perfection. So here we're focused on progress over perfection. One great way to start moving towards progress over perfection when you're a perfectionist is to borrow an idea from software engineering, a revolution in software engineering called AGILE. Now, the way we used to do software is that from the point an idea was created or a requirement was first pointed out, we would do big requirements gathering to fully understand the requirement. Then we would do big design. Then we would do big development, followed by big testing, followed by big release. And the thing about that is that from the point of having the idea to releasing working software could be a very long time. It could even be years. And in that time, the customer's requirement may have changed, and in fact, the market may have even changed in such a way that makes the software obsolete. The idea of Agile is to get something out quickly and put it out and test it with its users and find out what they think about it and see how they use it and see what you can learn from how they use it, and then quickly produce an iterative improvement on that and put that out for feedback and see how that works, and then do an iterative improvement on that and keep frequently producing iterative improvements that remain responsive to change. And so the first action item that I'd like you to take away is to look at your life and work and look at where you may be doing something that's like big requirements, big development, etc. And see where you can adapt a more agile mindset, where the idea is to get something out relatively quickly, get feedback and produce the improvement relatively quickly. More feedback, more improvement, and keep going in that loop. And I do urge you to do the action items because, as I say a lot in these videos, information without action will not produce change. Only information that's followed up with action will produce change. By the way, if you're enjoying this video so far, do give it the thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe and hit the notifications bell so that you'll know when more content just like this arrives. Another great way of creating progress over perfection is to use time boxes. Now, imagine for a moment that you were a staff writer on a newspaper before the internet, when it was all print newspapers. And if you didn't get your story to the editor by the deadline, there isn't going to be a front page tomorrow. Now, that's a hard deadline. And when you're in that kind of situation, you can't afford to get stuck in perfectionist paralysis. You simply have to start producing stuff. And there's something about having a deadline like that which focuses the mind and gets movement, gets traction, gets us over our inertia. Now, using a time box is basically saying, I'm going to give myself this much time to make progress on what I'm doing next. And at this point, I'm stopping. And that will help you focus your mind the same way that it would focus the writer's mind to have a writing deadline. Yet another way of creating progress over perfection is to use what we call the 80-20 rule, or the Pareto principle. Now, I don't want to get into the economic history of this particular principle because it comes from economics. But in simple terms, what it effectively predicts is I could probably get the key points and the gist of 5 books in the same amount of time that it would take me to get a perfect and deep understanding of one book. Now, that's not to say that's how you should read books, because it depends how detailed and how perfect your knowledge of the book really does need to be. But this is about the law of diminishing returns and the fact that it takes exponentially more time to do something perfect than it takes to do it good enough. So the 80-20 rule is about doing lots of good enough rather than just one perfect. And so this action point is about identifying work in your life where you can afford to be more good enough and get more done at a good enough level rather than getting stuck trying to produce one thing at a perfect level. By the way, one cause of perfectionist paralysis is overthinking, and I've got a video about overthinking up here. And yet another way of creating progress over perfection is to bring energy and enthusiasm to your work. Now you might think, surely it's not up to me whether I have energy and enthusiasm about what I do. Surely it's a result of what the task is and whether I like it. Well, maybe to a point, but you can choose to apply energy and enthusiasm. If I take an example of something that I don't particularly like doing, I don't particularly like cleaning bathrooms, but if somebody was going to pay me $1 million to clean a bathroom, that would be the cleanest bathroom on the planet, and I would apply energy and enthusiasm to getting that job done. So when you choose to apply energy and enthusiasm, you might not like the task, but you might decide, look, if it's here to be done, so I'm going to do this with energy and enthusiasm. And I guarantee you some things will happen. Number one is it will get done. It will get done better. It will get done quicker, and you will actually have a better time doing it. So bring energy and enthusiasm to what you choose to do. Now, admittedly, that can get tiring. So you can't do that for 24 hours a day. So you are going to need regular breaks. So give yourself regular breaks for refreshing and renewal. To build on this, watch this video here next, where I get some tips from a CEO on super productivity. Or if you've already watched that one, then watch this one next. This is Steve wishing you health and happiness, and I'll see you next week.